Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, President Joe Biden addresses a gun violence conference in Washington. This as Hunter Biden is convicted of 3 felonies.
Cuero gets a new city councilman. He was a state champion there in Cuero in the 80s.
And a gator was spotted at the Riverside Duck Pond. Reporter Adarius McCormick has the story.
We are tracking a few thunderstorms that are coming in from the north, headed toward the crossroads. There you go, folks. The storms are now crossing I-10 at Seguin. They're continuing to drop south. I'm thinking within an hour or two, we may be seeing and hearing thunder and lightning around the area. We'll have the latest for you and also the latest on the tropics. All that coming up in just a moment.
And the UIL has some new rules in place that could help level the playing field just a bit. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Victoria police arrested a 20-year-old man this morning. Zachariah Martinez faces a charge from Lavaca County of theft of a grave or human corpse or military marker. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $50,000 bond.
Over in DeWitt County, deputies arrested a man Monday. That is 28-year-old Corey Gonzalez, charged with burglary of a home intending a sex offense. He is now in the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of a $50,000 bond.
Calhoun County deputies arrested a man Saturday. 36-year-old Blake McMillan faces 4 charges, including evading arrest with a vehicle and unlawful carrying of a weapon. He is in the Calhoun County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bond.
Another lawsuit in the horrific attack that left 19 students and 2 teachers dead at Uvalde Elementary 2 years ago. The victims' families filed legal action against FedEx and UPS. They accused the companies of multiple oversights when the weapons were shipped to the shooter. FedEx is accused of not verifying the buyer's age. The lawsuit also claims UPS aided in the illegal sale of trigger systems that the shooter used, saying it failed to screen the package before it was sent. The families are seeking unspecified damages from both of these companies. And now President Joe Biden addressed a gun violence prevention conference in Washington, D.C. today.
This just hours after a jury found his son Hunter guilty on 3 federal felony gun charges.
President Joe Biden speaking at a major gun violence prevention conference, just a few hours after his son Hunter Biden was convicted on 3 federal felony charges in connection with a 2018 handgun purchase. The jury concluded that Hunter had violated laws designed to prevent drug addicts from owning firearms. In a statement, the president said he loves his son and is proud of the man he is today, while making it clear he respects the judicial process. The president chose not to comment on the trial during this gun safety event. Instead, he used the stage to highlight the upcoming anniversary of the signing of the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act.
It's the most significant gun legislation in nearly 30 years. We passed it only because you went out and worked like hell to get it done.
The legislation received support from both Republicans and Democrats after the deadly school shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, back in 2022. It enhanced background checks and boosted funding for mental health programs.
Whether we're Democrats or Republicans, we want our families to be safe.
Polling shows that nearly half of registered voters, 48%, say gun policy will be extremely important to their presidential vote in November. A poll conducted last fall found that 56% of adults believed gun laws should be stricter.
No single action can solve the entirety of the gun violence epidemic, but together, our efforts, your efforts, are saving lives.
This appearance comes as the White House and the Biden campaign have worked to promote the president's work to tackle gun violence, an issue they believe resonates with key voting blocs. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
So here is your viewer poll. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen to vote. The question is, should Hunter Biden receive the maximum sentence of up to 25 years in prison? Yes or no? According to our results, it looks like 43% voted yes and 57% stand at no. Thank you for voting. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10. Former President Donald Trump is once again trying to get the classified documents case against him dismissed. A federal grand jury last year indicted Trump on charges of taking classified national defense documents from the White House after he left office. On Monday, Trump's legal team filed a motion saying that the boxes of documents were tampered with in the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago back in 2022. The claims that investigators failed to keep the documents in order. The trial is indefinitely postponed while the court deals with issues around evidence that is classified. And now, taking a pause on your news, let's take it over to the weather wall with Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez.
Thank you very much. We do have some incoming shower activity. There you see it right about there. It's a line all the way from Bryan College Station over there to about Hondo. It is dropping southward, so it's going to be in the crossroads within an hour or two, already crossing Seguin. It'll be in Gonzales very soon. We have a little bit heavier activity out in the far west. That's a severe thunderstorm right about there. So look for some big stormy weather coming in tonight. Tomorrow we'll have a little bit more, and then it gets fairly hot for the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up in a moment.
The University of Texas at Austin announced Tuesday morning that it will carry out disciplinary action against students who violated campus rules during a pro-Palestinian protest on April 24th and 29th.
UT did not specify how many students are facing disciplinary action. 57 people were arrested during pro-Palestinian protests on the UT campus April 24th. On April 29th, 79 people were arrested after a group of pro-Palestinian protesters again gathered on the South Mall. Law enforcement responded shortly after. Texas is suing to block the new Biden administration rule protecting access to perform gender transition procedures. The Texas Tribune reports in March the federal government said providers cannot deny these procedures to transgender people that would be provided to others for other purposes. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says the lawsuit is over a new federal rule. It would require states to pay for gender transition procedures for transgender people through their Medicaid programs. It would also require health care providers to perform them. Cuero has a new city council member. Adam Arroyo was appointed council member at large at Monday night's city council meeting.
That's right. He will fill in the remaining term left by Emil Garza, who is now mayor of Cuero. Arroyo was a member of Cuero's 1987 state football championship team. He later played football at Baylor and was the athletic director and head football coach at Bloomington High School.
Monday morning, Victoria Parks and Recreation spotted an alligator swimming in the Riverside Park duck pond.
Officials say the gator was fairly small, but our reporter Adarius McCormick tells us the gator is actually a little bit bigger than small. Is that right, Adarius?
Yes, I'd say 6.5 to 7 feet is just a bit bigger than small. The city of Victoria and the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department captured the alligator earlier Tuesday afternoon. The city posted this image of her on their social media. They decided to remove the alligator from the pond. However, she was sent to a rescue farm to live out her days and to breed. Although we're saying, see you later, alligator, the city says stay aware of your surroundings, especially with children and our pets. Back to you guys.
Oh my gosh.
That's if that's small, I would hate to see big, an alligator.
I don't even want to tip my toes in there.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Darius. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Stay with us. U.S. and Arab leaders unite in an effort to get more aid into Gaza. Coming up on 25 News now at 6, we take a look at those ceasefire negotiations.
Also ahead, a new Alzheimer's drug seeks FDA approval. Those details next. Police in northeastern China arrested a man they say stabbed 4 Americans at a park there. All 4 teach at Cornell College in Iowa and were taking part in a partnership with a university in Jillian City. Video showing the aftermath of the attack surfaced on Chinese social media but was quickly censored. Police say the suspect is a 55-year-old man who, in their words, collided with a foreigner while walking. One of the victims is actually the brother of an Iowa state representative who is doing well and now recovering.
The delicate task of bringing about a ceasefire in Gaza could be closer to a reality this week. A U.S. proposal to end the fighting between Israel and Hamas in Gaza is being considered by Israeli leadership.
It's a critical step forward, being cautiously praised as U.S. and Arab partners work to bring Hamas leadership to the table.
It's an important step closer to peace in Gaza. Israel is signaling it may be ready to formally sign President Joe Biden's 3-stage ceasefire deal.
I met with Prime Minister Netanyahu last night, and he reaffirmed his commitment to the proposal.
Once agreed upon, the ceasefire plan would roll out over several weeks and would include commitments like an eventual full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza, along with the release of all remaining Hamas-held hostages. A short statement attributed to the Israeli Prime Minister's office Tuesday reaffirmed support for the U.S. proposal, saying the plan enables Israel to achieve its goals. But it also reiterated that Israel will not relent on its war objective of ensuring Gaza no longer poses a threat in the future. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Monday is among a number of global pressure points on Israel this week in the quest to broker a ceasefire.
Yesterday, the United Nations Security Council made it as clear as it possibly could be that this is what the world is looking for.
On Monday, 14 of 15 UN Security Council members voted in favor of the U.S. resolution, with only Russia abstaining. Blinken is in Amman Tuesday, meeting with Arab partners like Iraq and Jordanian leadership, announcing at a conference there another $400 million in aid for Palestinians in Gaza. While ceasefire negotiations continue, Blinken notes a critical component is still missing, a response from Hamas leadership.
That's what counts, and that's what we don't have yet.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Important news in the battle against Alzheimer's. A panel of advisors told the FDA they voted unanimously to endorse a drug from Eli Lilly that could help slow the early progression of the disease. The medication, called donanemab, would be the second Alzheimer's drug cleared in the U.S. Several advisors noted that more data is needed on donanemab in Black and Hispanic patients, among other groups. Additionally, there's the risk of side effects, the main ones being brain swelling and bleeding, all of which will have to be monitored. It's been half a year since the deadly EF2 tornado touched down in Madison, Tennessee.
At least one woman who lost her home to the tornado is still waiting for FEMA.
Oh my God. The sound of a freight train, the roar of a jet engine. However people who survived a tornado put it, that's the usual description for those who lived through one. The December 9th tornado for Bonnie Huck sounded a lot different. That's because she wasn't even there.
I was visiting family in Florida, and then my mom was here. I've seen her on the news, and we're all worried about her.
She and her mother both live on Nesbitt Lane. Her mother and her house were fine, but for Bonnie,
I come back and I have no house.
Similar to that of so many others we spoke with, returning and rebuilding was not an option.
Why would I go back? And then they're like, well, you have to be here.
Hux is talking about FEMA, who she says would not review her request for funds until she moved back. Right now, you don't have any FEMA funds. You're waiting for them, but you have to live in the back of your truck until you get those funds.
Yes.
For the past 3 weeks, since she's been back in Madison, this has been her living situation while she waits on FEMA.
We have to buy food like every day, every other day, because you have to keep it on ice. Somebody luckily gave me a camper topper. It doesn't fit my truck, but hey, it's better than nothing.
Hux doesn't know what the future looks like currently. She's taking the situation day by day. Where her trailer used to stand is now an empty lot with a pile of debris.
I'm in process for somebody to come out and do an inspection. I was like, there's nothing to inspect. Like, how hard is it? There's nothing there.
Colorado State University released an updated 2024 hurricane forecast. It does not change their predictions of an extremely active season in the Atlantic. Colorado State says extremely warm sea surface temperatures are very conducive for hurricane formation and intensification. The university's forecast continues to call for 23 named storms, with 11 becoming hurricanes and 5 becoming major hurricanes. If you missed Storm Prep 2024, here are some other dates and times you can catch the show. On KAVU, Saturday, June 22nd at 12:30 p.m. KMOL, Sunday, June 23rd at 11:30 a.m. KVCT, Sunday, June 23rd at 12:30 p.m. and KXTS, Saturday, June 22nd at 11 a.m.
Well, folks, yes, we invite you to join us for Storm Prep because the storm season in the tropics is getting very interesting. Right about now, it's going to get interesting in the next 2 hours. We've got a line of thunderstorms rolling southward into our area. It's already past Seguin, so it'll be getting into Karnes City pretty soon, and then Gonzales, and then, of course, Cuero, and then Victoria. So that's when the next couple of hours. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's still 91 degrees, feels like 104. We got up to 94 today, but as you see in the background here in the picture, we've got some stormy weather moving down into our area. As a matter of fact, the activity is just about to get into the Cuero area right about there. So those of you on the northwest side of us, just get ready. Those of you here in Victoria, give it about an hour or two, and you should see some storms rolling into our area. It's a big long line from College Station all the way out to Hondo, and it's dropping southward into the region. It'll be here for this evening, and tomorrow will be probably the last chance as we get back into the rather hot stuff. Now here's the area of low pressure that's triggering that activity, and notice the higher pressure, or the heat dome, actually dropped a little bit farther south, allowing that system to come through behind that line, and down here the pressure is too strong to allow for anything to actually move around. So yes, we do have showers. Now here's the Doppler image, and you can see Cuero right there, and then you see the storm just to the north of it in DeWitt County, the heaviest stuff, now just about rolling into Gonzales. Now, how long will this last? Probably maybe till 10 o'clock, and then it'll be over. And the good news for us is none of this is severe at this time, although you'll have, some pretty heavy rain. The only severe one here is this one way out there in Hondo. So yeah, Nordheim and all you guys out there in DeWitt County, get ready for a big downpour coming in. Now, here is Future Tracker. We start at 8 p.m. tonight, and we see it move forward. We expect it to be here certainly by 10 o'clock. And then by midnight, it should pass our area and get down into the Gulf waters, but it's decreasing as it goes. And then for Wednesday morning, we still have a couple of showers rolling around. In fact, some of these storms leave us what we call boundaries. In other words, cool air next to hot air, and of course that triggers more activity, which will be on Wednesday. Then after that, we start getting back into the hot and steamy stuff as we get on into the weekend. Now, big news in the tropics. Okay, not huge news, but news. Like we told you yesterday, this area is beginning to develop our first system already with a little bit of well, a little bit more time, maybe a day or two. This will become a possible tropical depression. Now, at the time right now, it's a wave. It's a tropical wave, and it's an invest area, so it does have a little circulation. You can see how the winds are going round and round. And as we get on into the next couple of days, and certainly by the weekend, it should start moving toward Florida. Now, Florida, it's not a very well organized storm. It may not ever get a name, but regardless, Florida is going to be looking at 10 to maybe 20 inches of rain in the next couple of days as that system moves through the area. But the thing we're worried about is that the temperatures of the water is so warm, 88 degrees, that anything that rolls over that gets going. So scattered showers coming in tonight. You got that right, it's tonight. And then thunder shower activity again for tomorrow. And there you see the cloud deck behind us. And then the 7-day forecast will show you how much we expect, 40% for tonight and tomorrow, and then decreasing, then hot for the weekend, but we're going to be watching the tropics as that system rolls through. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Karina.
Thank you, Mac. And now here's Zach Brown with your sports.
New rules beginning next year and how it impacts us in next year's high school postseason. I'll have that in sports. UIL met today to approve or disapprove certain proposals today. We can talk about what they did approve. Beginning next school year, there will be divisions when it comes to the playoffs in classes 2 through 6A volleyball, softball, and baseball, classes 4 through 6A soccer, and all of basketball. And all this means is that 4 teams in each district will still qualify for the playoffs. The 2 schools with the largest enrollment will be bracketed in Division 1. The other 2 will be bracketed in Division 2, essentially doubling the number of state champions in each sport like we already see in football. The Astros in San Francisco last night, they had Spencer Arrighetti on the mound. He was great, but the game did go into extras, and in the 10th inning, the Astros able to put up a 2-spot that was capped off by the Alex Bregman single that just did sneak up the middle to make it 3-1. But a few errors in the bottom of the 10th allowed the Giants to come right back with a 2-spot of their own, and we're all tied up at 3 apiece, and the Giants would load the bases, and a hard hit ball that's going to go down as a single wins it for the Giants. Another bad Astros loss, and to make matters worse, the Mariners, who were trailing 4-0, came back on the White Sox. A squeeze play with 2 outs in the 8th inning fooled everyone, and in the bottom of the 9th, Cal Raleigh crushes a grand slam for the win. The Mariners stun Chicago, and they now have a 7.5 game lead on the 3rd place Astros. The Victoria Generals picked up their first road win against the Gumbo Gators, but lost their last time out. Now they're back here at Riverside Stadium tonight. They try and remain perfect. The Generals are 3-0 so far at home, look to stay that way. Their first pitch against the Brazos Valley Bombers set for 7 p.m. He ate more hot dogs than anyone for 16 years, and now he's saying no more. Joey Chestnut will not compete in this year's Nathan's Famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Instead, he is representing a rival brand that sells plant-based hot dogs. Major League Eating doesn't seem pleased with the decision. The organization issued a statement saying it wanted to let him compete in that new eating contest, but also participate in the Nathan's Showdown. That is it for your sports. Donna, Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach. We're back in a moment. We're going to take a look at the night sky. What may seem like a new star might soon be visible to you from home.
Finally tonight, NASA says astronomers are expecting what will look like a new star to appear in the night sky between now and September. It's a celestial event that has been years in the making, known as a nova, not the Chevy car, which involves the explosion of a collapsed star. It will occur in the Milky Way's Northern Crown constellation. Now, once the nova peaks in brightness, it will be as if a new star has appeared. This one will be visible for a few days without any equipment and a little over a week with binoculars. You thought you knew everything up in the sky, but no, here comes something new, but it's not really new.
We're very fortunate to see, but you know, stars grow and collapse. I mean, it takes millions of years, but we're going to catch one, grow, and collapse.
And I didn't know. Did
So
you?
it's just about right, like she knows.
I took several classes in college about, you know, geology and stars. I know the. Zach, what do you know? Let's talk
and
about
we've
it.
seen stars grow and collapse in Hollywood too. So,
Every week.
Every week, yes.
They grow and they collapse. Anyway, folks, I want to show you the radar picture because, yes, we do have incoming showers coming down to our area. We got dark skies to the northwest. The storms are already moving into DeWitt County. They'll be in Victoria probably by 7 or 8 o'clock. This does not look severe. In fact, it is weakening slowly, but you will get some downpours coming in very soon.
All right, thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.